Hello, my friend. I've been trying to get my head around your situation, your journey to where you are at this moment. And I'd like to go back 4 or 5 years. You're doing A levels, you've got a bit of an idea of what you want to do, where you want to go, and then you do your A levels and you pass, and then you get into a university, and then you study and have fun, lots and lots of fun. And I'd like to pause for a second and say, let's imagine a person is in prison for 3 years. They go to prison, and at the end of that sentence, they're looking forward to freedom. Okay? Now this is a flip, the opposite, the inverse. And you are going to freedom for 3 years, and you are doing activities of your choice and having fun, experimenting, throwing yourself in at the deep end for projects outside of college and inside of college and university. And you're exploring a new you that's outside of your family home, and you're going upward, and potentially you're going to find a new place to live and become a new adult and a new life and everything. And I don't know what you exactly went through. I've got a few ideas, but now you've come out at the other end, and you've come into a prison, an environment that's lockdown is called, lock up, bang up, prison, where you are restricted to follow through your dreams. So going back now, like 4 years, you're in your bedroom, the future is there, and now you're back in your bedroom, perhaps at some point of the day, sometime in the day, and you're surrounded by the bits and bobs you've accumulated over the last 3 years, reminding you of the freedom and the dreams and everything. And then you're in perhaps a not so good place, because you are, instead of feeling that you've made progress and it's good goal, it's just a feeling. I don't know. I can imagine it's not very nice. Going back, if I am now pretending to be 19, I'm doing my A levels, and I'm like, yeah, I want to go to university, and then I go, and going back to the 80s, if this was the case, and I then do my 3 years at university and have a really good time, and then I go back home, and there's nowhere to go to follow through the dreams. It's very anti-climax. I can imagine I would feel really, really low, because this has suddenly come about, that it only seemed like yesterday these things were potentially possible, and now what is possible, it's not easy to work out, especially when we're getting news about people going crazy, destroying people's lives for no reason whatsoever, and things like that, you know. So what do you do? But anyway, I'm not here to ask you what you do, and I'm not here to make a plan of what you do. I'm here as I want to know what's the general buzz throughout the whole planet for people of your age, come out of university or a study, or even if you're about to go into, and now that's been told you can't. So you're about to go into, but you can't. You've got to stay in your family home, perhaps, because it's the only one you can afford, or you've come back from the freedom place, and now you've gone into what must feel like a very restricted, claustrophobic, maybe? I don't know. Is there a noun to describe? Let's go back for 3-4 years A levels, or let's go back a few months to those that were thinking of going, and a few more years for those that were dreaming of, that were just going, and then they've come back. But let's go back a little bit and journey through the time, and you're in a similar place, for those that are going or those that have been and gone and come. But whatever place you are in the past tense, where you are now is perhaps not very good. So what is there, a nouns or verbs you could just bring up? Yeah, so why am I asking these questions? I want to know what is this effect having on not just you, but what would it be for all you young people that have just back now facing this stagnation, decay? Or maybe it's nice to just be back and reflect and write and create some poetry out of it, or some lyrics, some songs, or some art. Art is important. You might not be good at art. You might not, I'm not good at art. I can't draw. Can you talk? Can you talk Shakespeare? Do you talk poetry? No, I just say hello, how's it going? Can you walk? Can you walk like a ballerina? Can you draw? No, well, you can. Art is good for you, believe me. Trust me. And it doesn't have to be drawing, it can be music. You might not be. Can you play the piano? No. Can you do that? Yeah. Anything. Doesn't matter what it is, but what medium? How can you express? It doesn't have to be in words, it could be in noise, music, art. What else is there out there? I want to create some kind of metaphorical statue, the emblems that shows. I want to see an image, thing, word, sound, texture, feeling of all these clothes that you've got to unpack, and the smells of horrible smells or nice smells of perfumes that you've encountered. How are you feeling? I need to know, because I don't think I was in a mood of mind to be able to. Yesterday I was not. I needed to get the information. I needed to put myself in the shoes of coming back. I think that happens probably to a lot of people, and for you to, let's say somebody's been ill or not ill yet. They've led a life, a good wife, kids have grown up, grandkids, and they're now in their 70s, approaching 80 or something, and the wife or husband isn't around as much, and then illness sets in, and then having come out of hospital, they're back to a place they have less control over than they had before. So I suppose it's pretty much something that everybody's feeling in a sense. However, you are you have been recently hyped into the excitement of the potentials of, if you were to get an excellent degree, a first, and a big congratulations, you've got the best degree. Does it matter so much now, because what can you do with it, or what, that must set a lot of anxiety. I can only imagine what you're going through, and I can relate to perhaps having been through similar versions, but I can't know what exactly you're going through, what the general wording of this would be, how you all see it. If I was a poet, what words would you give me to be able to create a nice, a cleverly constructed that summarizes the whole thing? Or if I was an artist making a statue, what image would I, from your words, would I create? Or if I was a musician, what sort of chords would they be? Bum, 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 or would it be happy? I don't know. I'd like to have I'd like to have some feedback into your state of mind, because I imagine you could be quite upset and down. But what the only possible solution to feeling better about this is to know pretty certain without any guesswork here, that you're not alone. You're perhaps one in 100 million, a billion of the whole planet who's just come back from university and in their bedroom unwrapped their belongings, their new bits, and the memories of the last 3 years, and the excitement and the euphoric, the ecstasy of the potential of life, what's going to happen, and then suddenly you're just back to where you were before you even went. But worse, you've got a fantastic memory but not able to apply it to, I don't know, I'm bringing out the negative of this because I've experienced you telling me how you felt yesterday, and you told it with a happy heart. You seemed to be smiling and just like, oh, what's going on? But I think deep down you probably are in a lot of pain, confusion. And I know in my own life, when I feel confused, I'm desperate to have a solution, and that desperation makes it worse. And then I look up a bit of advice from the greats, or the Buddhas, or the gurus of spiritual writing, or quotes or something, and it's always the same. It says, look, wherever you are, just relax and meditate. And I'd like to suggest to you perhaps to meditate to help you to reflect and put things into perspective, but that's not what I'm here for. I just want to know how you're feeling. I want some words, some adjectives and things that can help me create a piece of art that nobody's ever going to see, but something that can just be planted inside of me to understand and be more understanding of the situation that you're going through. There's lots of people's different thousands of situations, but I think it all amalgamate to one frustration. But your specific one is very, very powerful. You describe how you were having fun and experimenting, and I listened and I collected the data. I collected the information, but I wasn't able to express empathy direct. I knew I would eventually feel it, but I needed the information because I couldn't just jump into the situation. I was like, this is a strong experience to have gone to a new place, which I saw originally 3-4 years ago. 3 years. What was it? 2017 September. Start of the first term. Then you get into the college operatic society and new friends, and pantomime comes up, and you're studying drama, and it's all exciting, and you're juggling this and juggling that, and meeting new friends and learning new bad habits, some good habits, and staying up all night, and a newfound self. You found a new part of you, a new potential, and then you work on that and you become a bigger person, and you grow. You get a car, and you're independent. You have a little job. It's all great, and it seemingly will last for the unforeseen, for as long as you need it to last. And then you come back to somebody goes to prison for 3 years, and they're locked and confined, and they want to get out. They want their freedom. But when they get out of this place, they're coming into a what? That must be, I think it's pretty, I'm not going to say the word horrible. It's not horrible. It must be very, very disorientating and confusing, and somewhat heartbreaking, because you say have a platform. You want to become an actor, which is what I trained as. I went to a college in Durham. I went to a drama school as well, but for a short time. But I think my real learning my real learning the craft, the skills, or whatever, was just being a clown and doing birthday parties in living rooms. I mean, if you can do that and entertain in some stranger's living room, and you do learn quite quickly how to handle an audience, even if it's just kids. Even if it's just kids, kids are very difficult. You know, they run around and where are they? You know, to control that atmosphere is pretty skillful in a sense. And I had the freedom to do that after my college, and I went on and did that. And then now I'm here, and it's old news now. But I had a health challenge, and I call it a challenge because I didn't. You know, I became ill, but I'll get through this one. And I had to stop doing a lot of things that I did. There's a lot of things now I can't do. What would I like to do? I'd like to, if I had the money and I could just go, and now I was free, I'd like to go to the Himalayas, and go up the Himalayas with a guide, and rest and sleep in tents and that. But that's not going to happen, and I'm not particularly gutted about that, but I do still dream about it. And that could happen one day. Why am I telling you that? Because I'm all right, you know, I'm all right in a sense. But I know that for a lot of young people now who have built up an excitement and worked really hard at these degrees, you won't be all right. You're not old and having to accept defeat or loss and stuff. I mean, as you get older, you accept that there's going to be losses and health challenges and things. But you're done your 3 years in a new place. So let's say you come from a small village and you go to a big city. That's a big experience. Or you come from a big city and gone to a small university town, and that would be different. So you've experienced a big change in your life, big, only to come back to almost like to the start, to the beginning, but 3 steps back, because the frustration of the potential that you was implying to me, that now what can you do? So you built up a skill, and you needed the confidence to express yourself in a different platform, say on a. Some people you trying the stand-up comedy and you wanted to try a different area, and you needed the confidence. But now, if you were to do it, you would still need the confidence to embark on a new style of performance or a new art form of some kind. But as much as you would need it, does it feel like there's not a lot of point in trying to want it? Because we just don't know what's going to happen. It feels like this could go on forever, this atmosphere of things not changing. It could end overnight, but does it feel likely? It doesn't for me, but how am I feeling about it? I'm finding that it's grounding me more. Actually, it's making me more focused on the things that I've always wanted to do. This procrastinating word, which I don't like. I don't believe in using that as a negative experience. I like to go to a library, and if I've got a specific book I need to read or need that would help me for a situation, and then I see another book and something else, and I'm distracted into another place, I quite enjoy that. And as a little toddly child, when I was a little toddly child, we didn't feel bad about 1 minute playing with the sand, and next minute playing with the water jugs, next minute the pens. Just didn't have plans, and that was nice. But now we do think it's important to have plans and to, I don't know, compete or something. And what I like about, it's not nice this lockdown, but what is a benefit and a bonus for me is that I'm not competing with myself. I'm slowing down, and I'm making a bit of progress by slowing down and stuff. So it's hard for me for you to transfer that to your own experience, because you're young, energy, buzzed really hard, found new girlfriends and new mates to do different sports we've never heard of before, or different activities, seen clothing, maybe got an earring, seen a bit of a tattoo or something, and you thought, oh, this is the new me. No parents nagging, telling, or brothers and people that you have to do this with and that with. Now you're in a new place and it's all been your choice, and that incredible feeling, and now bang, stop. And I want to feel it. I want to feel, not on a permanent basis, but I want to feel the I use that word stagnation again, stagnate. I remember looking at a pond once that had it was a beautiful area and a beautiful pond. However, there was a lot of litter, and there was a rusty bikes thrown in this pond, and it had potential, and I can see this, and it had the potential of koi carp and a Japanese, it could be feng shuied a little bit, if that's and it could have been buzzed up a little bit, but it didn't. It was just, the water was dead, just stagnant, and something stagnant is chi. I don't know if you've heard of chi, where the energy flows like water through your body, and you see people doing tai chi, and and it just flows. But the flow, I don't know. Get back to me. Let me know how you're feeling. I wanna know. Au revoir. I'm going out now to get some milk for my tea.